I figured that I would do a, actually wait, I have to get the camera down real quick, do a video on all the aspects of snake keeping. I'll just show you a few before I actually get to what I'm going to talk about. Especially with bigger snakes, but really with all snakes, is it's not just handling and stuff like that. You also have to do cleanup. You have to make sure they have a little speck fresh water all the time. You have to make sure their bedding is clean. You have to check for urate, and you have to check for poop after a few days after feeding. And for me, I have over 20 snakes, so when I replenish their water, which is about every other day, I'm in here for a good amount of time. He's actually trying to shed right now, so I'm not going to bother him too much. But he's trying to shed, so but a lot of people have to realize, especially when you have bigger snakes, that bigger snakes eat bigger food and the cleanup is bigger. And so I figured I would show you my doom roll boa. She pooped today, so I have to clean her cage, so I figured I would show you that and what goes into it. So let me give you a quick shot of the poop. It's actually very large. That's from a extra large guinea pig, and she has flattened out quite a bit. So now I have to clean that, so take it outside and I'll show you what I do to clean, and then it'll be good fun, so stay tuned. So basically, now I get her out of the cage, and then I will pick some of the poop up probably, and then I'll go rinse it out, and then I'll put new bedding in. So let me get her. I want to get her without dragging any part of her through the poop. It's a delightful smell. So I take her. Here she is. I put her in. Everybody who has bigger snakes, or any snakes really, should have an extra bin to put their snakes in while they clean the cages. It just makes it much easier. And then we're gonna take her water out so I don't spill it. There. Carry this over here. This is just a temporary cage she's in right now. Her big cage is being built. The thing with bigger snakes, that you have to realize is snakes like to be tight and they like to be warm, so even though this is snug, she just curls up and she's perfectly fine. So there's the poop. And so now I'm going to take some out and then clean the cage down. So now I'm going to rinse out the tub, and clean it. I use Simple Green, which is an organic cleaning compound, diluted, and I still rinse it really good, but it works well, especially for the smell and stuff. I don't like to use bleach and stuff. It's just a little too risky for me. I mean, it's safe, I just don't feel comfortable using it. So now I'll just rinse the tub out, get those little turds I missed picking up and putting in bags, and then I'll clean it and we'll be good to go. So yeah, now the cage is clean. I'll take you over to show it. This is all my newspapers I use for the cages. All nice and clean. Water. So now all that's left is putting her back in. Now sometimes she'll smell really bad, like she'll smell really highly of urine, or she'll just stink, or this happens with any of my snakes. If they smell really bad, I'll take them outside and I'll rinse them and I'll like wash them. If the temperature's right and I can get the water outside to be warm. I live in a really hot area, so typically temperature isn't an issue, but the water does get cold, so you have to be careful with that. I give all my snakes baths, especially the big ones, because they have the most issues with shedding. Her last shed, however, was perfect, except for the tail. I had to help off the tail, but other than that, it was a complete shed. I stick them all in that tub, and I let them swim around, and I let them get moisture in, and so I do that, and I do that especially more often with her because she urates all the time, so she's constantly smelling like urine. But it's another thing you have to remember with big snakes. Big snakes tend to urate constantly, which is why I use newspaper, because it's the most practical, it's the cheapest, it's the easiest to change in and out daily. She'll poop at least once, pretty much once a day, sometimes twice. That's just something that big snakes do. So she doesn't smell too bad, so I'll just put her away. Now this snake is around 7.5 feet. So she's a pretty big snake, but she's, you know, you're saying, well, you know, this is especially for people who have Colombians, you know, they, hold on one sec. They talk about, you know, do you have, you know, they talk about handling a big snake, and it's not just holding them, it's about feeding them financially and being able to clean after them and give them the proper housing. I mean, you know, she eats extra large guinea pigs or small rabbits, and she's not even as big as her. She is over 8.5 feet. She weighs over 40 pounds, and she eats 5-pound rabbits, 3 to 5 pound rabbits. She poops more, she requires more care, she's heavier, she's more work, so that's just stuff that, you know, we have to keep in mind. So, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll put some more